This is Frank, and this is Ahmed. Both these boys are 10 years old. They're nearly identical in temperament and personality, both very bright, kind-hearted, and obedient, and both fitting the stereotype of a good kid. Their common personality traits will lead them to eagerly absorb all the religious and moral instruction that is presented to them. They'll prove themselves to be model students, eager to please and to do the right thing, and they will both grow to become model citizens, devout members of their religious faith, and wise, charitable pillars of their community. In short, they'll both end up fitting your stereotype of a good Christian man. Ooh, did I say Christian? Well, that's not totally accurate. Because while Frank grew up in the United States of America, and the religious instruction he so obediently followed led him to become a Christian, Ahmed grew up in Saudi Arabia, so the instruction he received, and responded to with the exact same attitude of openness and obedience as Frank, led him to become a Muslim. So obviously, when both these men die at the age of 60, God will accept Frank to heaven and cast Ahmed to hell to burn for eternity. Christians will say this is because Frank accepted the loving gift of salvation offered him at the cross and chose to follow his Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, while Ahmed rejected Jesus and decided to follow a false religion instead, and that each man chose his religion based on his fully informed attitude toward God, an attitude that so deeply reflects the core of each man's character that God will use it as his criteria for passing eternal judgment on them. Which means we know that Frank, if he'd been raised in Saudi Arabia, would have denounced the false teachings presented to him by his parents and instead turned to Jesus. And we can say with equal clarity that Ahmed, if he'd been raised in the United States, would have rebelled in his heart against his Christian upbringing and chosen to become a Muslim. Right? Because if that's not the case, then God decided to judge these men for all eternity based on an accident of birth. And he would never do something like that. Right?